Hey everyone, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Um, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you who are African American ADOS, no, let me take that back. For those of you who are lifelong Democrat, who are black, your presidential candidate Joe Biden made a crazy comment on Charlamagne the God's show, The Breakfast Club, right? Now, Joe Biden, and I'm gonna talk about him, why we shouldn't vote for him anyway. But Joe Biden had the audacity to tell you guys, you black voters out there, that if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. This is the most I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and I'm gonna continue the rest of my commentary. Vice President Biden, I read some of your black agenda, and you say that you would decriminalize marijuana. What's the difference between legalizing it and decriminalizing it?
Because they're trying to find out whether or not there is any impact on the use of marijuana, not in leading you to other drugs, but what it affects. Does it affect long-term development of the brain? And we should wait till the studies are done. I think science matters.
I think we got decades and decades of studies from actual weed smokers, though.
Yeah, I do. I know a lot of weed smokers.
I want to ask you about your running mate. I don't know if you saw. Well, I saw today that a news report broke that Amy Klobuchar was being vetted, and a lot of people on social media, they're not too happy about that. And it's because they want your running mate to be a black woman. I don't know if you saw the op-ed in the Washington Post by some of the leading black women voices in this country, and they feel since black women are such a loyal voting bloc, and black people saved your political life in the primaries this year, they have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple.
Well, Thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Joe Biden just said is one of the most disrespected, disgusting comments I've ever heard as anyone running for president. Now, I know a lot of African Americans for years and years have always voted Democrat. And regardless of how you feel about Bernie Sanders, and I have to admit, I supported Bernie Sanders way before I joined in ADOS. But the thing is that Joe Biden, the thing of it is that, the only reason why I didn't support Bernie Sanders this time was because he doesn't support reparations, but that's just another video. One thing that I've noticed about Joe Biden is that this is the same man who supported the 1994 crime bill. This is the same man that refuses, while he was in Congress, to allow Anita Hill's witness to testify in her behalf. Because obviously, if it wasn't for that, Clarence Thomas wouldn't have been the Supreme Court justices. I know some of you didn't know about that, but it's the facts. See, all these years, black people voted Democrat, and you see Joe Biden as a person that said, well, I'm all for black people. And you heard those words just now when he says, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. I've never heard, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to keep it real, guys. Joe Biden is a racist to me. Because if you want black support, and a lot of blacks is probably still voting for him anyway, but if you want black support, you shouldn't say anything like that. Not on an interview. But see, this is the perfect example of why ADOS probably will vote down in November. Some might vote for Trump in protest, and some just not even vote at all. Or some just gonna vote down, period. Because they felt that the Democratic Party didn't give ADOS what they want. Give us what, give. The Democratic Party, along with Joe Biden, didn't give. Basically, they don't give us reparations. They don't give us the black agenda. They don't give us tangibles. And when you hear all of this, and this is the Democratic candidate, a Democratic nominee running against Donald Trump this November. When you hear all of this, and like I told you, and I say time and time again on some of my podcasts, Joe Biden, we can't trust him. The Democratic establishment pushed this man and pushed all the black voters to vote for him because guess what? We want Trump out. We want Trump to get out of the office. But I know some of y'all gonna say, Lions Den, oh, are you support Trump? Are you a Republican now? No, I'm not. I'm neither one of them. But I just want you to see for yourself why we can't support Joe Biden in November and why ADOS need to vote down this year. Because of Joe Biden. And all of a sudden, now he wants to have a Lift Every Voice plan. And this is not doing. He had to deal with ADOS on this plan that Joe Biden is doing in November. He didn't even give an ADOS plan in that bill. He'll give everybody else, of course. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, watch when a person says people of color. Watch what they say, because just because they say the people of color doesn't mean they're talking about blacks or ADOS. This is important, guys, because I want people to see how the Democratic Party and their establishment works. They use our vote, but they didn't give us what we want in return. It's like what Yvette Carnell says. She says that, Yvette Carnell made it clear. She says that, it's an exchange. You want our vote? Give us what we want to hear. Tell us what you want us to hear. And Yvette Carnell made one thing clear. He said, a vote is not a gift. It's an exchange. And she's right. All these years and decades, we give the Democratic Party our vote instead of telling us what we want in the black community. Give us a black agenda. We've been fighting for this, and they still didn't listen to us. So, we've been hearing this time and time again. And again, I'm going to repeat what Yvette Carnell says. A vote is not a gift. It's an exchange. So you see, what we're seeing is that now black people are feeling all so hurt. But everybody would kind of shocked at what Joe Biden said. But why are you shocked? This is Joe Biden didn't say this out of the gaff. He meant exactly what he says, black people. He meant exactly what he says. And you talk about, well, if you voted for Donald Trump, you ain't black. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And yet you say you want the black support, and you said stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I said that ADOS need to vote down in November. Because unless someone I'm talking independent. If a person running for independent, unless someone just gets in the race, this is what we have, people, and this is what I'm saying. People are tired of the two-party system. They're tired. We already know. We already know about the Republican side. We already know that. We don't want to go there on this video. But we've been voting for Democrats for decades, and all of a sudden, Joe Biden made this comment that if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. That is the most disgusting comment anybody says who's running for president. And I know Joe Biden probably do an apology tour, but people have to understand what Joe Biden did in the past. He supported the 1994 crime bill. He supported Clarence Thomas. And by the way, a lot of people talk about what do you mean he supported Clarence Thomas? Remember, in a hearing that Clarence Thomas was trying to run for the Supreme Court justice, you know that this is the same Joe Biden who refuses to even bring Anita Hills as witnesses to testify. And I even though I repeat what I said earlier, but that is the facts, people. So then y'all going to be surprised that Joe Biden made this gaffe or quote unquote, call it the slip of the tongue. But people surprised by that, and I'm not. This is how Joe Biden is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want each and every one of you guys to, I'm not telling you guys who you want to vote for in November. And majority of blacks, I know not ADOS, but a majority of the blacks going to vote for Biden anyway, because their goal was to get Donald Trump out of office. But then you have to understand, do we really know Joe Biden? Yeah, he's the former vice president of Barack Obama. But do we really know this man? Do we really know him? And again, the Democrats refuses to even hear the black agenda. He refuses to even talk about reparations and tangibles for ADOS. So it tells me that Joe Biden just won our vote. He just won our vote to beat Donald Trump without even come to the black community, talk with them, listen to our concerns. But hey, I'm gonna let you guys decide what you want. Y'all leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.